It's time to take another trip to the Democratic People's Republic of Canada in... I must give credit to John for that title because we've got more updates on what's going on in Canada and some updates regarding some of the things that I was discussing on Tuesday with Leo with the hacking of Give, Send, Go. So first of all, the most important thing really is that some of the organisers of the protest have been arrested by the Canadian police. So the Ottawa police arrested at least 2 top organisers behind the Freedom Convoy protests against COVID-19 restrictions on Thursday, as the Canadian government continues its attempts to shut down the demonstration. Organisers Tamara Leach and Chris Barber were arrested after Ottawa police received emergency powers and worked to shut down the protests in Canada's capital town. Footage showed organiser Chris Barber being arrested by police as he walked down the street before he was placed in a police vehicle and driven away. Organiser Tamara Leach was also arrested later in that day. The charges against the 2 organisers are currently unknown. So currently, it's probably going to be like disrupting the peace or something like that. They may have something to go off.
Jesus, I hope it's as small as that. I hope it's not you're terrorists. Here's 10 years.
I would hope so.
Have a tenner.
They might have something to go off legally speaking when it comes to. I know that there was the blockade at the border between the US and Canada that was taken down pretty quickly. So they might have something there. But we know why they've arrested them. Because it's too much hassle at this point, and Justin Trudeau has been hiding for too long. So the interim Ottawa Police Chief Steve Bell had warned on Thursday that a crackdown on protesters was imminent. To those in the protest, if you want to leave under your own terms, now is the time to do it. And he threatened to employ lawful techniques to remove the unlawful protesters. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked emergency powers on Monday to end the protests, freezing bank accounts associated with the demonstration and even threatening to take away the pets of those involved. The pets.
What?
They want to steal your pets. Just to point out, this is a point... This is... We'll see in a moment. We'll see in a moment.
What a weird thing to say.
I know, it's awful.
Like, I kind of like it's all unjust and blah blah blah. But you can see the tyrant's thinking where he's like, I'm going to target their bank accounts. I'm going to arrest them when they walk into places. I'm going to steal your doggo. It's
just a whole new level, isn't it?
I'm going to take your goldfish. What a weird thing.
Your lizard's mine now. No, I think the point has been made by loads of people. Imagine if during the 2020 riots, Trump had decided to freeze the bank accounts.
And steal people's doggos.
There would be fury. There would be even more riots on the street.
Dog snatcher.
Whereas the Canadian protesters, as far as I can see, are kind of just taking it on the chin with a bit of dignity and being like, okay, you can do that to us. We're not going to give in. We're going to keep going.
Don't care, tyrant.
Yeah, exactly. Don't care. I'm here with my grill. I've got my bouncy castle. I'm set. Well, let's take a look at what they were doing in their threat against stealing your pets. This is Ottawa Bylaw. Attention, animal owners at demonstration. If you're unable to care for your animal as a result of enforcement actions, your animal will be placed into protective care for 8 days at your cost. After 8 days, if arrangements are not made, your animal will be considered relinquished. And just scroll down.
So what, you're going to take it out back behind the chemical sheds and shoot Lassie?
There's just a picture of this poor dog being taken away. Just to really hammer it home. They might as well have a hand with like a needle sneaking up behind it.
Look, Ottawa bylaws. Get a dog, hold it up, put a gun to its head, take a picture and just tweet that and be like, this will be your dogs if you don't leave. I mean, it's the same message.
This could be you. I mean, seriously, they're basically just saying, if you keep protesting, we'll arrest you, and then we'll arrest your pet.
Do you remember the Australian situation where the Aussie police broke into, there was that, what do you call it, a pound or whatever?
Yeah, and they shot the puppies.
The Australian police wouldn't let people come to the pound to take care of the puppies, so they decided the best thing to do was to pull out a handgun and just start shooting the puppies.
Weren't the Third Reich a bit harsh on animals as well at times?
Well, Hitler loved animals, actually. So.
Well, he did, but I'm aware of them like shooting animals.
Yeah, sure.
In some circumstances.
But, I mean, the Canadian police apparently are less tolerant than Adolf Hitler's views on
Hitler
animals.
would have known better, Trudeau.
I mean, terrible in every other respect, but apparently on the animal
front. But
front.
at least he cared about the doggos. This is what you're coming to, Canada. Oh. Yeah, I can only hope that in this situation, the police tasked with doing this would go, no, I'm not stealing Fred's dog. What kind of maniac do you think I am? I'm not stealing Barney. Look at him.
But also, if some guy's there with his dog, just tell him to go home. Like, what are you gonna? If you need to arrest him, just put the dog in with him. He's not gonna eat it.
They can share the cell together.
Yeah. What do you think they're gonna do? Like,
I thought Canadians were nicer than this, man.
Apparently, the Canadian authorities not so much.
Yeah. As a result of all of this, there's been one of the funny things that happened is that Elon Musk decided to tweet a Hitler meme at Trudeau.
Was it about dogs?
No, scroll down so we can see it, John, because I think it is screenshot here.
Yeah, stop comparing me to Justin Trudeau.
He just did that in response to some of the stuff that Justin Trudeau was posting. He did delete it, though, sadly, when he presumably realised that, hold up, this is getting me a lot of heat. And
so what? It's good, maybe.
Yeah, I know.
Don't let your memes be dreams.
Musk, you're a great memer. Just keep going at it, man. Come on. Scroll down. We can see some of the responses that people have had. Times Person of the Year, just casually posting Hitler memes. Should we tell him?
No, let's not tell him.
Should we tell him?
Okay. No one tell him. No one tweet him. Leave him alone.
All right.
Leave this ignorant sweet prince to his ignorance.
Justin Burragona, I wish I was naive as you. And we can just see a few more. If you scroll down, there's a few. Growing up, it was ingrained in me that American Jews simply do not buy Volkswagen cars because of the company's ties to the Third Reich. Here you have one of the leading electric car manufacturers casually comparing a world leader to Hitler, an act of minimizing that atrocity. How?
I love how he's saying these are almost the same. It's like, Volkswagens, they worked for the Reich, and Mr. Musk tweeted a Hitler meme, so same thing.
Mr. Musk tweets Hitler, therefore is Hitler.
Basically did the Third Reich, don't buy Teslas. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then someone's just put, as a white South African currently being sued for racism, maybe don't ever compare anyone to Hitler or racists, K. Why not? Just because you're being sued doesn't mean you're immediately guilty. I've not even heard of this racism lawsuit going against him. Have you?
No, but as a white South African, I think he's got a particular perspective that probably should be considered in any kind of racism debate.
Anyway, one of the other big things that we made people aware of, which people probably already knew about, which was that the Christian crowdfunding site Give, Send, Go were hacked and the donors were doxxed over the weekend, which was something I think Gofundme were originally the ones providing money through the crowdfunders, and then they decided we don't want to fund insurrectionists. We're going to give away the money to their charities of their own choice, presumably BLM, before they realised that, hold up, we'll get sued because this is thievery and obviously very illegal for us to do.
It's one of the commandments.
Yes. I don't think GoFundMe care about the commandments somehow. And so
it violates the Sharia. Are you happy now?
Yeah. So they refunded all the money, gave the money back to those people who, many of them decided to give through Give, Send, Go, who set up a crowdfunding page for the protesters. They got doxxed. I suggested that it might have been an internal operation by the Canadian government just because of how convenient it was and cringy it was, because as you can see, there's the
it's cringe, must be the Canadian government. I mean, no one else is that bad.
And you can't deny it, man. You can't deny it. And listen to this rhetoric here. Attention, Give, Send, Go, grifters and hatriots. Hatriots.
It does sound like Trudeau.
It does sound like Trudeau wrote it.
I will forgive you for thinking it's him.
Yeah, the Canadian government has informed you that the money you assholes raised to fund an insurrection is frozen. Because that's what collectivist hacker organizations have always been about. Supporting the establishment government.
We are anonymous.
Okay, yes, we are anonymous. We're here with the face of a man who tried to blow up Parliament to protect Parliament from the noisy honking. No! Don't you know that Trudeau's almost run out of headache tablets? How could he survive? And the person who supposedly did this has outed himself. There's been some great posts from libs of TikTok, who, of course, as always, keeps her eye on all of this stuff.
Obviously, salutes in the chat.
Yes, TikTok. Absolutely. Give them a follow if you're not already. This weird, creepy guy has decided to out himself. And before we play this clip, I'm just going to give you an audio warning because there is... No, literally.
His voice is that annoying.
No, he screeches. He shouts and screeches.
Well, he's a leftist. I expected that.
I know, but let's just give it a watch so that we can see what he's saying on here. Oh, yeah, there's a bit of silence at the beginning while he's trying to seduce us, I assume.
Nothing scares me. Nothing. Yes, I doxed the truckers. I did it. It was me. I hacked Give, Send, Go, baby. And I do it again. I do it 100 times! I did it! I did it! Come at me! What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to me, huh?
Nothing you haven't already done to yourself.
What is the gyrating?
I hacked Epic Hosting! I hacked Parler! I hacked Gab! I hacked Truth Social! I hacked Go! Give, Send, Go! I don't care! You can literally put my name into the news tab on Google, and you can find everything I've done. I am literally in every mainstream media publication for the things that I do. Ooh. I'm not an unknown actor.
Here's my
I'm
resume.
literally a famous fucking cyber terrorist. And you think that you can scare me?
God. Yeah.
I don't even feel mad. I just feel bad.
A grave example of the mental illness epidemic that we're going through at the moment in the West.
Do you think his mum's proud of him?
No.
No.
Do you think he knows his parents?
I hope not.
I hope not either. Yeah, no, that guy is apparently, he goes by this the name Curtainer, and his real name is publicly available, so I'm not doxing him, just in case, is Aubrey Cottle, who seems, as you can see there, very mentally ill. Speaking of parents, he does sound like a child trying to impress his parents as a teenager going through my rebellious phase. It's not a phase, Mom! I swear!
Oh, I'm going to be a cyber terrorist my whole life.
Yeah.
You just realize what you just said. You realize what you just admitted.
Yeah, there is something to be said here, which is that I think it's good to be wary of people like this just going on TikTok and admitting to stuff like this, because it does come across a bit weird. It maybe makes him seem as though he's not legit. He's just some guy trying to take credit of it for clout or something else. Yeah, but there is...
Sorry, just the photo.
Yeah, there's a problem with that, though. As well, the question is, how has he not been arrested when he's taking credit for literally breaking the law? The problem is that he might actually be legit, because, as you can see here, he has his own Wikipedia page, which doesn't obviously make anybody legit automatically, but there's a bit more to go on here. So he's listed as a Canadian hacker, computer security researcher, software engineer, and a founder of the hacktivist group Anonymous, which on that thread of libs of TikTok, there is one of the videos where he just screeches about, "It was me! I formed Anonymous! I founded it!" Which is really living up to the standards of the name when you just admit to being anonymous. Okay, fair play. Cottle was involved with Anonymous in the mid to late 2000s, but retired later. In 2020, he returned to activity with the group, saying he was motivated by a desire to stop the far-right QAnon conspiracy theory. Cottle identified himself as a founding member of Anonymous in August of 2020. Once again, not really going to help keeping it anonymous if you're just going to dox yourself, but okay, weird flex. And there's also some things where he said about how he has personally worked for the FBI. Now, these are statements that he has made, so we can take them with a pinch of salt.
The Bureau are like, we never heard of him.
I know nothing of you or your work. Move along, John, to the next link. So this is from a website called National Justice, who I'd not heard of before. So take all of this with a pinch of salt. But there does seem to be elements where he's well known, seemingly. So speaking to the media under his real name, he's strongly implied that he was at least partially responsible for the attack on Gab last February, as well as the leak of credit card information, personal addresses, and names of individuals who have registered domains on Epic in late September. Well, so Epic are like a website domain hosting.
Sure, but Torba gets suing. I mean, you've got money to make.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Presumably.
That's the thing. According to a PDF icon collection of screenshots published by a rival group of anarchists, verified by National Justice, Cottle has a long-standing employment history with both the FBI and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Cottle, in his own words, has stated that he helped the FBI develop a child pornography honeypot that he has dealt with often with the feds. So it is all self-claimed, so it could just be some mentally ill guy trying to take all the credit. Yeah. But once again, if he wasn't potentially in with this sort of stuff, even just admitting to it on live streams, why wouldn't the police at least come knocking and be like, okay, we need to investigate some of these claims that you've hacked all of these very convenient websites for us? you know. And he mentioned that he'd also been mentioned on CNN, and I was looking around for it, and he actually has.
Yes. I just can't get over imagine being proud of that.
I know.
I've been on CNN.
I'm legit now. Do you love me now, Mum? Move along, and you can see the CNN article. So this is talking about Epic, the website hosting domain registration place that he supposedly hacked. And it seems as though people are aware of him because they were talking to the actual head of Epic, which a guy who goes by the pseudonym Monster. This is where we're getting deep into internet territory here because everybody's just using weird pseudonyms like Monster and Curtainer. But they talk about how he was in this Zoom call with Cottle, and it says, about 15 minutes into the call, Monster cheerfully called out the presence of an unlikely participant, Aubrey Curtainer Cottle, who describes himself as a founder of Anonymous, in other words, Monster's enemy. Curtainer, he said, clapping his hands. What's up, bro? Monster asked Cottle if he performed the hack. Cottle denied it, then added, I would never, ever, ever, ever admit to a federal crime in a space like this, a position he seems to have gone about face on, but okay. A day or two later...
I'll do it on a Chinese platform.
Yeah. A day or two later, Monster donated $444 to the Gofundme page set up by Cottle, who told CNN that he lives off of donations. Monster has referenced the number as having biblical connotations. Cottle took the gesture as a message. He's got his eye on me. He had to go digging to find that GoFundMe. Cottle, who said he lives modestly in Toronto, acknowledged that he took Monster's money and used it for a trip to visit his young child in Philadelphia. This man is a father. Pray for that child. Pray for that child. This is why I'm starting to come around. I think we need God again, guys. Monster told CNN that he believes that Cottle is the culprit. So it seems that within certain areas of the internet, he's quite well known. He's been around on 4chan for a long time. And if he is such an expert hacker, I could actually legitimately see the FBI or other organizations trying to employ him for his totes hack skills.
I don't know anything about hacking, so I'm not going to say anything.
I don't know either, but I am aware that they have, in the past, hired on people as who have been known for independently hacking stuff. Don't send this guy death threats because supposedly he has. But once again, I'm legitimately curious to see how this guy doesn't at least seem to have a police investigation, seeing as he's admitting to all of this in very public situations, which does indicate to me potentially he might have links. And if he does have links, it wouldn't be surprising if it was the Canadian government saying, can you just hack these people so the protesters can't get any money, please? But as a result of supposedly him, releasing all of the information and doxing the donors to Give, Send, Go, people have been harassed as a result of it. Another thread from Libs of TikTok talking about the Salt Lake Tribune is now using the Give, Send, Go hacked data to reach out to donors who gave as little as $50, which is harassment. And the actual email that this person received, I'm a reporter with the Salt Lake Tribune. Your name and email address appeared in a leaked data from Give, Send, Go contributions to the Canadian trucker convoy. Your name appeared to be associated with a $50 donation. Can email or call me to confirm this matches your records. Why did you decide to donate to the campaign? Which is private information. None of this information was supposed to be out in the first place. You are just questioning and harassing normal, everyday people by sending them these emails.
Smear merchants.
Yeah, smear merchants. And of course, why would you respond to anything like this? It seems
Well,
that...
I don't know. I mean, if they emailed me, I'd send them a lot of honks.
That's true. Send them order them a clown nose.
Like he's emailing me from his work email. Big mistake. Like that's just gonna be full of spam by the next day. Just if it was me.
And then we've got James Lindsay posting a picture from this guy's Instagram. If you scroll down, we can see the full image. Of course, these are the sorts of journalists trying to harass people. I believe CCCP is the
USSR.
Yes, the USSR, hence the hammer and sickle. So he is a communist trying to figure out why people would want to support workers' uprising. We live in a tipsy-topsy world at the moment, and there are other people who've been harassed as well. There's this Fox News article talking about a gelato shop owner breaking down over threats for supporting the truckers. Tammy Guilani spoke to Jesse Walters Primetime and said, I think never in my 56 years have I ever experienced a country so divided, so full of hatred towards friends and neighbours. You know, they may have opinions that differ from theirs, but they're so willing to publicly shame and humiliate people and spew forth angry vitriol. You know, we've been called terrorists for the first 30 to 36 hours. We were inundated with hatred and threats of violence. People threatened our team on the phone, telling them we're coming to get you. We're going to throw bricks through your window. You'll pay for this, you Nazi supporter. I personally have been called a disgusting pig of a woman and that I should rot in hell. Our rural shop out in Marrickville, Ontario, someone draped a large bedsheet over a sign. I'm sorry, it's been a tough few days, but the sign read, Tammy supports terrorists. Now Mama Bear is going to dig out a clause on that one, and we're getting the video surveillance of the incident, and we'll pursue it with the police.
I hate this.
I know, it's normal
just
people.
Think of that situation. Like, what really is the de facto difference between a society as intolerant as where she is currently living and an Islamic society?
I don't see one.
Like, you can't... I sell ice cream for a living.
But you gave money to people I've decided are Nazis.
But you sell... What harm are they doing? I mean, they're the most innocent people on earth, the ice cream shop owner.
The ice cream shop owner trying to give some money to support some people trying to stand up to the government in a non-violent manner.
Let's brick their windows.
And let's shut down, let's brick their windows, let's shut down their bank accounts, and let's steal their dogs.
For tolerance.
For peace and unity! Yeah, so that's all I've got on that one. So hopefully the Canadian truckers can stick it out even if you are being attacked at the very foundations of your organisation with your leaders being arrested. And hopefully anybody who was doxxed, I hope nothing bad happens to you.
If you are a Canadian truck owner at these protests, give your doggo a nice big hug tonight. He deserves it. If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this video, which is Thomas Dowling's Critical Base Theory series, this one on the cost of modernity. But if you want to follow Thomas, you can also follow him on Getter at Thomas Dowling on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.